setting up the class. There. Edit, copy, file, save as. Log, save. File, save. And then content. So what's up, Allie? How's it going?
Hi, how are you?
Okay. How's it going with your assignments, projects, everything? What's going on?
It's good. We're just fixing a little bit of it and like redesigning it, but
Okay. And the number, the FAPI, how's that going?
it's good. I just did it, so it's in there and everything.
Okay. Did you get a number that spells anything?
No, I wasn't able to. Everything I tried spelling, the area codes didn't work.
Okay.
So
Try just how many numbers did you get?
I got 10,
Okay. Try
but
to
none of them spelled anything.
okay. Try deleting them, a couple of them. I'm not sure if it does. Once you have 10 and you delete, I don't know if they'll let you do it. And try using the area code 669. Just do me a favor and try that quickly to see are they not letting you do it once you've gotten the 10. And even if you delete from your wallet, you can delete, go to your phone numbers and just delete. And then try 669. Because that spells right away, that spells now, N-O-W. And the last time I tried it with other sections, they were working. But sometimes what they do, Allie, is they take a block of the numbers, and then when they use them, then they don't give them out again. So just do me a favor, just so I know. You understand? Just try
Yeah, let
seeing
me
it.
try it right now.
Yeah, try it now, and we can see. And they keep on changing the rules, since they're so new, and it's almost like we're thinking about it. It's almost like beta for us. You know what I mean? You know what beta means? It's almost like they're changing all the time. So I'm just curious to see. What's the case there?
Okay, 669 worked.
It did.
I just tried it. Yeah.
Okay, so try.
But everything else I tried didn't.
I know, but
like,
the 669. Try a 669 and see what you want to look at, and we'll discuss it in class. You want to even for the future, and then later on, those that want to play around with it can even create another Gmail account. I'll discuss it with everyone, kind of what the signal is, and later on, it would be great if we could get an AI to help us with it, kind of to go through all the combinations to see if they can help us. But the idea is we don't want to have zeros and ones. Why? Allie, you have an idea why we wouldn't want to have zeros and ones?
Because they don't spell anything.
Yeah, there's no
They're
letters.
Just, like, empty characters.
Exactly, yeah. Perfect. So glad that you're getting it, right? So they're empty characters. So if we can get those without zeros, one, I know that, for instance, I got a number now air open. So I was thinking about it almost as a way possibly for real estate for open houses. Once you have an open house, you could then broadcast live using that number where people can call in. So it is it's a game in itself, but
yeah.
but the ideal, definitely the ideal would be if we could get a good vanity number, then you could get a matching URL, domain name, and it would be like kind of almost like your branding. Like now, our WizMoreBiz will help you with AI to get, our wizards will help you get more business. Something like that you could, that's my goal. But of course, we have limited time, and of course, this is in the beginning stages, but I just want you to understand where my research is going in terms of how would this affect the return on investments of certain companies. Certain companies really fit well, and other companies not so well. But it's kind of like which types of companies would this really work with? And the idea that we can get the AI to speak on our behalf, and then later on our idea is we could get our own materials. So when it called our virtual number, right, Allie, it would be able to speak on your behalf. And in the beginning, you don't want to be, one is that you can show off, hey, we can give this number to you too. And these virtual numbers can be more intelligent, and it can even be the first bypass. And then when it's stuck, it would be able to say, what? I'm not sure about that answer. Let me get someone in the company to join us in the conversation. And then they would reach out, let's say, to you, Ali, to join the conversation. And then they say, well, Ali, can you do these phone numbers for me, these virtual assistants? And you go, yes, we will do it for certain companies. We will try to get you a number. You can give a certain number of information. And that answer that you give will be put in the database. So the next time somebody would ask, oh, can you do a virtual number for me? That's an assistant, an AI assistant. Then you would, the AI assistant would be able to answer it. That's our
Yeah,
goal.
my phone number, like my personal phone number,
Yeah.
is like my area code at home, 80, and then it's Ali, so it's 25543.
Oh, great. And did you get that, or that just so happened?
No, my mom got it somehow. I don't know how she did it, but my brother's is like my area code 59, and then his name's Frank, so it's Frank,
Right,
like
yeah,
whatever it's
right.
spelled
So,
out.
so your mom really thought about it. You can share that with your
Yeah,
mom. That's saying you want to just do it for businesses. She could even do a number. Name my child, right?
yeah. I
She,
don't know how she got it, but
yeah,
we
but I'm
both
just
have
saying
it,
it's
so
funny how you're saying it, so you really understand it. So I'm doing the
yeah,
same. I want to do the same thing for companies rather than for children that I can keep track, right? You know, of
yeah.
all my kids, right?
It's easier for her to remember, I think, too.
Right,
She's
right,
like, okay,
right,
like
right. But
area
now,
code's the same.
yeah, but now once, but what it used to be more important because when we didn't have contact lists. Now she just has your number and she just clicks it. Most people don't even know each other's number, right? Because I just have, they don't even know their own number, right? That they have it. But that's the key. It's a basic idea of branding. That's what I'm saying. So fantastic, Ali. So remind me again, what's your major? Is it marketing or is it just that you're just so good at marketing?
I work in marketing actually, but I'm a business management
Okay,
major.
but
I
same
might switch
idea.
to marketing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
all of it around is going to be marketing, right? And they're the first ones, in my opinion, to be adopting that, right, for marketing, because that's really what it really does well, even today. Though you see, it's going to get improved all the time. That will have it. Okay. All right. And we always have issues. Sebastian is trying to get his camera working, but let me just make him the co host, anyways. And I'll tell you what we're doing. This is an exciting day. Every day is exciting for me, but today is especially exciting because we're going to have guest speakers, and we're going to have two guest speakers. Everybody was so excited, and I wanted the guest speakers to meet each other. I'm like on the network guru. So I love to also network with people to see how we can do it in our academic relationships. So we're going to have two guest speakers today, and I want to go over your next assignment with you before. They're scheduled to come in at 4. One is coming in from London, and it's great when we're on Zoom. We don't really care where they're coming in from, but it's an opportunity rather than going on British Air and landing in Miami and spending hours just in traffic. They can come. And the other one is coming from the city of Coral Gables, and we can do that. So as we're setting up here, let me start recording to the cloud. I will live stream. And Sebastian, does your audio work?
Yeah, everything works. I just don't know why the camera's like
Okay, it's not the end of the world, but as long as you can hear me and I can hear you, that's good. You understand? Stuff happens. What can you do? Sometimes you need to reboot. There's so many different things, right? Like we say, Sebastian, when they tell us with technology, there's never a problem, right? We know that
Yeah,
ain't so.
I'm trying to find my camera. That it's like a USB camera, and then you like plug it in. So
yeah. Sometimes it's drivers. Sometimes are you using a Mac, Windows? What are you using?
Windows.
Okay. Sometimes even to reboot, turn off your machine and then join again. Close it sometimes. Some of the drivers aren't set. So many little things. Just throwing that out. But I trust you'll try to figure out something. Okay. Right. That we can do. What else? So hopefully. So Jasper, you're still Jasper and Sophia, or you're just Jasper?
I'm Jasper and Sophia. Sophia's just in the back.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so we turn. All right. So do we have something else here that I'm hearing? Let me just see here.
First touch. Almost substantial touch as well. This is something.
Create. I don't need this. YouTube. Let me just see here my YouTube.
First touch back across the space. You didn't hit the target again, but
so what is going on here where did somebody hear we have participations or something, participants here? Okay, so all right, I think we're set here. Okay, do I have volunteer? You guys hear me, right? Yes? Thumbs up if you hear me. Okay, good. Hopefully I'll have better internet access today. I apologize for that. We always have issues as coming in. Okay, welcome today. I'll wait for others will join us. So do I have volunteers to moderate the chat? Okay, Lily, anyone else that wanna? Andrea, do you want to moderate the chat? Okay.
Yeah, I can do it.
All right. Perfect. So I have Lily and Andrea moderating my chat. What I'd like you to do is I have two guest speakers coming in today. One is Jason from Fastbots, and the other one is Rodolfo from Coral Gables. So can you be so kind when you see them coming in to let me know? Lily and Andrea, look out for them of new participants coming in. They should be coming in at 4 p.m. So we'll be able to do that. And everyone else, Valentina, Christian, and Steve, if I can get your cameras up and running that we can see everybody ready. Okay.
Are both of them coming in at the same time?
Pardon?
Are both of them coming in at the same time?
I invited both of them to come in at 4, one to hear each other and to meet each other as well. So, so isn't that amazing? So it's as my academic partnership with Wix that we are given the opportunity to upgrade, and only students from my sections are able to upgrade with Wix and get the business plan and free domain names. I have academic partnerships with others. One is called Fastbots, which is a chat bot, and we're also from England. And it'd be interesting also for you guys to hear about an entrepreneur. He basically is not a programmer. He was interested in chatbots, and he found, I think, someone in India that had a chatbot but didn't know how to market it. He was really good at marketing, so he bought the product. And after he bought the product, then he basically upgraded and enhanced it by getting programmers from all over the world to work on his team. Isn't that great, Thomas, when you think about it? right? I see something great, go ahead and purchase it. And then if I need extra, I want to enhance it, get people from around the world to enhance. So that's what he's doing. And my role I do in all the academic partnerships is I give them my expertise and advice on how basically mentoring a lot of these companies. That's number one. Number two, who we're having come in is the innovation officer of the city of Coral Gables, which for a number of years I've been their tech advisors, being at the university, being in the city of Coral Gables and doing tech. I helped the city of Coral Gables with their staff, helping them in technology, which directions they should be going. And actually, what's great, Thomas, is I'm able to see, they take a lot of my ideas and I'm able to see the implementation. And a lot of times I also see the resistance, right? Where I think it's a brilliant idea, but then you see down in the, I guess, the trenches, there's sometimes resistance, sometimes it's not going to work, or their staff doesn't want to do it, or there's reluctance among their customers. So many different things that we can actually see. Just because I think it's a great idea doesn't mean that it could be implemented well, and it takes time and effort. So it's kind of a great opportunity that we think about it as partnerships. That's how and I expect then what do they get from us by why provide us as partnership? I say that we could be their focus group. Plus, we can get jobs. City of Coral Gable gives internships, hires my students. And so it's both ways. And then if they want to, basically, hey, we're into basic college age students. We want to be able to see what they like. They get to basically have focus groups, and we give them our honest opinions. Also, I do not have any financial interest in these companies at the moment, so I give candid feedback, and you guys are welcome to give candid feedback. We do it, of course, in a helpful manner, but that is an opportunity for us to do. Everybody with me? So let's do this. Before they come in, I want to go through and answer a number of your questions. And Lily and Andrea, if you could look at the bots if you see anything that we need to know. But let me share so everybody can at least see where we're going from here. We know that this is working well. So let me go. You see my screen, right? Lily, you see it? Yes, you see yourself?
Yes, I see it.
Good, and you see yourself looking studious. Okay, so we got here on the Zoom. So let's go to what's due. On the what's due section, you can see today we were doing the phone voice AI agent assignment, and I think on Monday I'm going to spend some more time with this. What I wanted you to think about is thinking about it as vanity phone numbers. I think you really got a good feel for it, Allie, that go back and see, look for area codes, even though they say they're not available. Many of these numbers are not available, but what I found was available right now was 669 area code. And that was, one of the spellings is now. I also, in your assignment, if you looked at your audit assignments, under that audit assignment, generate those phone numbers. As you can see, here are a number of area codes that spell things. So in that 669 right here was, and another thing I would like is once you get the numbers in the 669, try to take numbers that don't have zeros or ones. Why? Because there's no letters attached to it. Though sometimes you can put it into your note like 1 for we're number 1, or 0 trust maybe with the number 0. But then go to something like dial ABC when you can open it up in a new tab, and then you can then try and put in numbers. So you can put in numbers, and then you could find, find the words, for it and see if it would fit. So we can do this. And Allie, maybe I'll go into partnership with your mom, right? We can do something with.
I have to ask her how she did it.
Yeah, but ask her, and then.
This was so long ago too.
Yeah, but I'm just telling her, that you're doing the same thing. And what would be interesting is she almost could do a business then where you could be an agent for your kid, right? You can say, "Hi, Allie, I'm doing fine. Don't worry about me," right? I'm only partying on Friday and Saturday night, I take Uber and I don't drive or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like an automated message.
Not automated, but when she asks you questions, right? How is my daughter, right? And then you could respond, right? And you list all the things. How are your classes? And you could put a number of different. So it's the same thing we're doing on the website, right? Well, you put in all your information about your URL, similar to what? Notebook LM, right? When you were studying for the exams, giving you the podcast, but this is a question and answering type of thing. And that's why I wanted you to choose that lead generation. So for your phone voice AI assignment, what I'd like you to do is go back and try to delete some of those numbers and try to do, Allie and others, try to do that 669 and try to find numbers that could, and do it with your group, right? So you can get somebody at least in your group can get a good number, and then you can put that on your website. So that's number one. Number two, this is the next assignment. So you have the phone assignment. Stay with me after class if you have some issues. And the next assignment, let me go to what's due. The next assignment, rather than a week from today, I'm having it being due on next Monday because there's a lot of different components to this. So I'll continue going through this assignment on Monday. I'll continue, but you should start already going through this assignment where chapter 12 is the business analytics chapter. And of course, it's the readings adaptive and the quizzes. This is a miscellaneous reading to talk about how language models really work behind the scenes. And the other one is your audit assignment, which is your group assignment. And let me just go through that, which is right here. On your audit assignment, basically what I want you to do is progress by updating your pages. A lot of things that are written in the AI are basically grammatically correct, but really don't get the essence of what you're doing. So you have to go back and really with human beings and drill down and make it clear and succinct. What are you actually doing? If I go to your website, do I know exactly what you're doing? And you have to make that clear. I want you to create service offerings, integrate, and we'll see that today, of my AI chatbot, FastBot, we're going to do. Also implement Notebook LM again, record a podcast with your URL. Once you have your URL and you put a number of sources in your Notebook LM, you should have a podcast about your company. Everybody knows how to do it, but do that. Add an AI call agent, your VAPI phone number, so you can click on it and you can have a discussion. And I also want you to have a separate page for the sample apps that you will give as a service. So each person in your group should have a tutorial explaining an app that does AI. And make sure you're introducing yourself, but you're making it as a demo. That one, people can understand it, two, people can understand that you're explaining it to them, and sometimes you'll give an opportunity. Either you'll do it for them like a podcast, or you'll teach them how to do it themselves. So you can give two things. If you're a business, we'll create a podcast, or we'll teach you how to do a podcast. They should be able to understand it. I also want you to set up social media accounts based on your company. Allie, right? I think everybody in the class, right, knows how to do basically Instagram or X or TikTok or LinkedIn. So what I want you to do is make this an assignment for people in your group, setting up social media. You should have at least 8, I would even say more, compelling posts. You should make it that it's active. And basically, you should follow each other. You should get some action there. And then here's a part with SEO. With Wix, you can do search engine optimization. Once you get upgraded your account and domain name, so everybody should be upgrading to and getting a domain name. And this is areas on the website. You should be able to have a page on offering services. Maybe you'll do group training sessions, individual consulting. In the beginning, I would give all this out free. Say, first we'll do is we'll give you, free marketing, free posts, or whatever you'll do for these people. Once they get to know you, then let them pay. But if they don't know you, let's first even see if anybody wants these services before we charge outrageous prices and find out nobody even wants it. But all these companies are really struggling on what they need to do. Integrate fast bots. We'll see an example of fast bots today, where have one person then create the fast bots based on what? Based on your own URL, based on your own information that you can do it, similar to our voice API VAPI. This is fastbots, and we'll talk to them about it. And then you'll see here areas in which you'll deploy it. Here is Notebook LM. Everybody knows Notebook LM. There's a Notebook LM too. There's something now new called MapMind, MapMind. I think that kind of makes it like a little outline. Be interesting to know if that's useful. Download it, convert it to, of course, your podcast audio, and put that audio file into Wix, which would be great. Your VAPI phone number, basically put it into your website. And these are what we'll be working. What I really am excited about is that you can share with anyone. So Lily, after the class is done, basically somebody says, well, what do you know about AI? Give them your link. Yes, Lily.
I believe one of our guests are.
Okay, great. Perfect. Any questions about our project in the chat? Lily? Great. And Jason, are you here?
I certainly am. How you doing?
Fantastic. We're also going to have, Jason, I have scheduled Raimundo Rodolfo, who is the innovation officer for the city of Coral Gables. I've invited him as well to join us when we're online. Jason, before I even introduce you, have you heard of VAPI.ai?
Who?
I'll share my screen.
Okay.
Isn't that great, class, where we can share with folks? If I go to this website, VAPI.ai.
Okay. Yeah, no, I haven't heard of that.
You have or you have not?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so listen to what this is. These are voice AI agents for developers.
Okay.
And basically, what our students are doing is you sign up And when you sign up, you can sign up with your Google or other accounts. When you sign into your account, so you could go to, a Google, and you can sign. So I could just, in this case, I could sign in with my account. And what's nice here is you see here under assistants, you create an assistant, and they give you, in this case, they give you, you can do your own template, but you can be a customer support appointment. I'm having the students be lead qualification specialists for their project. So you click on elite qualification, you create an assistant, and what's nice here is you see they give you the model, so you can choose what model. They give you free tokens in the beginning, and you have a number of models here. It's a lead qualification nurturing agent prompt, which is nice. And then they tell you what are the descriptions of this, and they give you what's the cost, what's the latency. What I like, and then this is attached, you see here Morgan, I can attach then Morgan to this. Then what's nice here, you see here on the voice. So for instance, if the voice here, and then I could say, oh, I'm going to be Lily, of a 25-year-old woman, and then they would have in those, they would have tools, predefined functions, their summaries where you could see it. You can see a number of them. But what we really like in the United States, you can get a phone number.
Yes, that's right.
And what they're doing in the beginning is they're giving a phone numbers that you can price it. Later on, once you do it, you can get, and you can, are you familiar with Twilio, Jason?
Yeah.
Like you can get phone numbers from Twilio, and you can even import those phone numbers from Twilio and others.
That's right. Yeah, we're building it the other way around, basically. We're building the text version and that first, and then we'll be integrating voice later.
Right. So what?
I'm interested to know how the law will be with this, though. Because people are not going to be wanting spam calls from AI.
Yeah. Well, we're just doing this when they call us. We're just doing it inbound and not out.
Only.
Yeah, we're only doing it inbound. We're not doing.
Inbound makes sense.
Yes.
Outbound is
yeah.
Really
so in this case, you can see here, you can create. I have some numbers already attached, right? That can, for instance, I have some numbers that are attached, but you can create even, they give you some of these. And what we're looking at it also, Jason, is we're looking at his vanity numbers.
Yes, sure.
So if it's possible, they can do it, and we're using things like dial ABC to help find insert certain phone numbers. But you can see here that they have the certain phone numbers. And the thing is, then you can attach on the first other phone numbers, you can attach an assistant to. So you could attach then Morgan to that phone number, and then when you dial, right, you change the prompt and say, hi, this is, this is Sarah, or this is Dr. Rush.
That's it.
We're from this company, and they can try it as a demo.
Yeah, it's very similar to synthflow.ai, which I've done videos on. Yeah, it's good. It's voice first, really. It's just a different way of doing things.
Yes, it's one is not better. It's just one is not better than the other. It's just another alternative. And what we envision is once you get your voice bot, then when you get stuck with a question, we would want, instead of hallucinations, we would want then this voice bot, which is VAPI, which is voice, API, would be able then to say, hey, Dr. Rush, there's a question here, reach out to me. I could join in to the questions. And
That's
then
what the fallback destination's for.
Right.
You can see on the screen there.
Yes, set a fallback destination for inbound when the assistant is not only available. I want it to be not correct, not
Yes.
and to be able to be at that certain point to say we don't know.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're kind of doing a similar thing actually, because we're launching live chat next week, and it will switch from AI chat to live chat when someone is not getting their question answered, or they say, I want to talk to a human, or this is not getting me anywhere, or they show any signs of frustration.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
Because you want to keep that lead. You don't want that lead to go away.
No,
right?
Not.
But I don't want
to go through exactly how we set up a bot for
first of all, I have Raimundo with. I am just so thrilled. I get my favorite people here. I have Raimundo Rodolfo, who's from the city of Coral Gables. Jason, what I wanted you to do first, I wanted you to meet each other, plus meet my illustrious class here, where everybody shows their, they turn on their cameras and they show their faces here. And then what I wanted you to do is, since we're kind of limited on time, for about 10 minutes, Raimundo kind of show us an overview of what I met him last week. I'm asking him to show us kind of overview of what the city of Coral Gables is doing, just a bit of what they're doing in innovations. I just wanted to let you know that I've worked with the city of Coral Gables, and really it's really my true pleasure to be a partner with the city of Coral Gables, just like I have with you, Jason, where I try to do an academic partnership that I want both sides to get something out of it. That's what I think a partnership is. It shouldn't be one-sided. So Raimundo, maybe you can do like a quick introduction. Later on, we'll have you both back together, and then we can also meet offline, the three of us, and seeing where our students maybe can help you on certain aspects, being like your focus group to see it. And just so you know, Jason, in our part, for our final project, we're going to be doing a virtual phone number where the students are getting it, where there'll be a bot behind it, where they'll be training it. We'll be using you as well, your fast bots. We want the students to incorporate it into their sites. We're also using Notebook LM. I don't know if you guys are friends. So they're creating a podcast with their information that we're putting there. And we're basically, all of our students, their project this semester is they are AI consultants to businesses. And they're basically, what services can they do? Many of them are in certain topic areas that they're familiar with, whether it's real estate, whether it's marketing, whether it's wealth management, whether it's to small businesses, to education, to tutoring. They're all kind of bringing it about, and they are consultants helping companies basically struggle, which everybody's doing. Where do I start? Last week it looked like this. This week I don't even know what it is. And of course, the following months, where's it going? So that's what we're doing. So with that, we could have basically you guys be a whole semester, but I just wanted to give them a taste of what you're doing. So first I'll have Raimundo show, and then after that, Jason, if you can give an overview of your product and also show us, for myself too, is what have you done. I have seen you a couple of months ago, right? So what's new since and where you're going? Perfect.
Yeah, sure.
So Raimundo, you want to introduce yourself to this illustrious group?
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Dr. Rush. Pleased to meet you, Jason, and pleased to meet you all in this class. So thank you for having me. I'm the CIO of City of Coral Gables here.
Okay. So, Raimundo, how would you like to just spend a couple of minutes of sharing what you're doing? And we can make it as casual as you want, but I wanted the students to see, our university is in your city, and our students live in your city. But what can you show them and what you're doing? And it gives us just a little introduction about yourself too, Raimundo.
Yes, I have a few screens open.
Perfect.
That I'm going to share, and then.
Okay, sure. You're welcome to share. Go ahead and share.
And then you thank me. Dr.
I will, and I'll interrupt you. You know me.
Okay. So everything that I'm going to show you is in our digital library, Smart City Digital Library. If you see my screen, do you see my screen?
Yes, perfect.
Okay, coralgables.com/ITDOCS. Everything is there. So I'm not going to have enough time to show you everything, but in your own time, you can go there and look at, for example, our Smart City Hub, our digital twin, and other platforms. Let me see if I can open one by one. So the Smart City Hub is very important because that's where we aggregate all the tools, the AI applications, the IoT dashboards, traffic sensors, environmental sensors, a lot of data that we share, more than 2,000 open civic data sets, and many, many tools and applications that we have developed, the big majority ourselves, smart apps for traffic, for mobility, for transportation, a data marketplace with more than 2,000 open data sets with APIs. If you want to collaborate and extract data, you can do it. And something that we do is that we have more than 1,000 environmental and traffic and safety sensors throughout the city and CCTV cameras with edge analytics. And we have poles like this. If you see this photo, one of my staff, network engineer Paulson Jean, do you see this pole here?
Yes.
It's unique. It's the only of its kind in North America. It's a modular AI-powered smart city pole that we implemented as a pilot with a company from Europe. They are an aerospace engineering company. So this pole was designed by an aerospace engineer and basically has no attachments. And Dr. Rochinek and I, when we were at CES in Las Vegas in 2020, we saw it for the first time. So we did a pilot, and now today we have multiple of these poles throughout the city, and we have redesigned them with an Italian firm to make them more like Coral Gables with Mediterranean revival architecture. We have an urban analytics platform where we aggregate millions of data points from thousands of sensors. That data, we use AI models to make sense of the data. For example, multimodal traffic sensors, so we can measure pedestrian traffic or vehicle traffic in downtown, and we can get all the analytics, predictive analytics, traffic trends, data for traffic engineers, a lot of data. And then we have a network of smart light controllers throughout the city, and we get energy efficiency data that we share with the public. We share with students, with researchers in the Smart City Hub. We detect in real time when a light is burned, so Polyworks can do more preventative maintenance. And we do historic reports on electrical consumption for energy efficiency. We have multi-sensor, scientific grade, niche traceable IoT stations in the city that measure weather and rainfall and solar radiation, wind speed, etc. And we have them in our public safety buildings. So that data is also shared with the public. It's used by first responders, by emergency managers, during activations for hurricanes. We do experiments with university. For example, in our campus now, we have this experiment with FIU scientists, water scientists, Dr. Ibrahimian, that you see here.
Right.
This is our campus where we have our lab. And that data is real-time data on stormwater and also analyzing the effect of heat islands in an urban setting. We are simulating an urban setting in our lab campus that we have in the city. So that's an example of the kind of things that we do in collaboration with researchers, with universities, etc. Mm-hmm. And just to wrap it up, this is our digital twin. You can also access it. It's a public platform. It's 3D platform, and in the digital twin, we run simulations. We can run simulations of, for example, hurricanes, of events like the World Cup, traffic. We can do virtual inspections. Basically, it's a virtual version of the city. And in this version of the city, we have sensors and real-time objects. Like, for example, you can see the trolley buses moving here in real time. If you click on a bus, you see how many passengers in real time are in that bus.
So this is real-time data.
Real-time data. We have integrated our cyber-physical systems into this metaverse version of the city. And here we can also do what we call virtual inspections and many other things. So basically, it's a very powerful tool. And you need high GPU, like a gaming console, basically, to watch this better. I'm showing you a little bit of how it looks when you on the digital digital twin.
So that's why you call it a digital twin. Is it basically it's a twin of what the actual city looks like.
And there's a lot of AI. There are more than 2,000 data sets here. I can look at zoning data. I can look at integrations with Google Street View, for example.
Oh, wow.
I can see the legal documents of buildings if I'm doing an inspection. I can see all the city trees here, for example, if I want to see city assets. And every tree, I can look at the species of the trees. I can see in real time the maintenance status of that tree, when was the last time that it was trimmed, because everything is connected horizontally with integrated enterprise systems.
Mm-hmm.
So if I get any of these trees, for example, here, and I click on it, I'm actually clicking on a real object with attributes. So
wow.
I can see, and I can log in if I want to see more internal data.
Right.
I can see the species, etc. So basically, that's the concept. This is a smart city operating system, and basically it's implementing what we call this topology of interoperability between city systems and AI platforms, and basically where everything is connected and we have full visibility over systems. So I invite you to continue looking at some data when you have time. I don't want to take too much time, Doctor.
Yeah. And so what are you doing with a lot of our students are finance students, finance and accounting, and we're a lot of, almost all our students are business students. What are you doing, or where do you see the future with your ERP, your enterprise resource planning systems?
So we use Infor Cloud Suite. It's one of the most advanced enterprise systems. And it's the same one that you find also in corporate. It's used by Coca-Cola and by Disney and those kind of big companies, but it's also used in government by certain governments that want to apply some of the enterprise capabilities from the private sector into government. So we use Infor Cloud Suite. Infor Cloud Suite has core financial, it has supply chain management, it has HR, payroll, it has a lot of different integrations, APIs, and you have what we call RPAs, robotic process
automation. So RPA, robotic process automation. So basically common tasks that you can automate, that you don't have to spend the time doing the exact same steps each time. Is that it? What you're being able to use?
Exactly. For example, with RPAs in Infor, I can automate things that are very repetitive for financials.
Right.
I can, for example, tell the system to approve multiple requisitions at once. I can do a lot of things like this, and then basically I can maximize the automation capabilities in the system.
Yeah, we're having problems, I think, in your screen sharing.
I'm trying to stop the share so I can...
Okay, so let me... Okay.
Okay, I was able to do it.
Right, okay, good.
So basically, Infor Cloud Suite is very powerful. So it also has the integration for forecasting. So I can use the forecasting engine of the system to forecast budgets, expenditures, capital project numbers. Also, Infor also has integration with other systems. So what you saw in the digital twin, I also have Infor integrated with financial data into the horizontal integration.
Okay, so where do you see, just give me a couple of areas, where do you see AI helping you in the future for for the city of Coral Gables and for your job?
Well, I wanted to share with everybody something. I want to put it in the chat.
Okay.
Because there are a lot of AI use cases in the city of Coral Gables. So we have, actually, for more than 10 years, we have been using AI in multiple capacities.
Right.
So I'm going to share with you a paper I published to the IEEE.
Okay.
And also I presented at a conference. And there, for the students, when you have more time, so look at the different...
We'll look at it, and then maybe we'll invite you back, that we can have more time to focus on. Okay. Leveraging artificial intelligence and machine learning to improve municipal services. Wow, that sounds great.
So I started basically 10 years ago. We started with computer vision, taking data from sensors, from traffic, etc., and cameras, using analytics, video analytics, and AI models for reinforced learning. Basically, we were getting data from people walking, or from cars moving, or from bicycles and motorcycles. We were training the models with AI with machine learning. So so they can count objects.
Right.
We also use AI for deep learning for advanced threat detection for cybersecurity. We started training the cybersecurity systems to detect adversarial AI and have heuristics, so they have the ability to learn behavioral analytics. We use AI with chatbots, so we have chatbots in coragebos.com, we have chatbots in the city's mobile app, we have chatbots in the Smart City Hub, and we started with RPAs, with hyper automation of repetitive tasks. Later, when Gen AI came, we started using OpenAI and ChatGPT in certain departments in order to help us with with efficiency. Today, we implemented Copilot.
Okay, Copilot from Microsoft, right?
And then we are using Copilot on a daily basis. We train departments with ROIs. So basically, we have multiple uses of AI, many of them for IoT and for automation of city platforms. Some of them for predictive analytics, like predictive crime analytics for police, or predictive analytics for finance.
Right.
So we have different kind of
some for forecasting, and some for doing daily jobs, and some for a lot of your IoT, which I think was a problem, that you collect so much data, but to make sense out of the data, that was the real challenge. Okay, great, Ramunda, and we, as I said before, we are always open to work with you, and we'll set up a time together where we can see what our next project is. We used to meet on a more frequent basis, but now I wanted to share, later on I'll share with you what are my research interests, and see, one thing I love about Coral Gables is that you implement some of our ideas, and also when it doesn't seem to work, that we're honest with each other and said, this ain't gonna work. So I love it. Okay, Raimundo. So thank you so much. And then we'll have Jason. And Jason, do you need to share your screen? You want to start off?
Yep.
Since we're kind of limited in time, everybody, but I thought it would be a great opportunity to see both.
Exactly. What have we got there?
Yeah, I got AI chatbots. And what I wanted, can I just emphasize, Jason? I want our students to type in your URL of fastbots.ai, and they should basically try to emulate what you have on your website. You have such a beautiful website that I think in the beginning says Fastbots. You see everybody how he has the features, the use cases, pricing, training, and I like right in the beginning that it says what he does. AI chatbots that know your business, ready to help customers 24/7, and then you have on the side PDFs, the docs, you have like the YouTube, you have in the part here, sign up free, and I like how you have providing AI chatbots to trusted brands around the world, and you have us on the lower left.
Let me get my, I'll just share like the window rather than the entire thing. So
and then my goal is to, we'll go over how to incorporate your AI chatbot, but if you can kind of give them an overview and then tell us what's new. Yeah, good.
Yeah, so, probably not an awful lot new from your point of view, actually.
But our students don't know anything about what you do.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so, let's just go over the basics then. So, Fastbots really helps people create custom AI chatbots, a bit like ChatGPT, but for your website or your business. Whatever you want to train it with, it becomes an expert on that subject. So, basically you import your data. That's the first job. So that could be documents, CSVs, text files, PDFs, whatever you need to put in, or of course the website, and then you customize the chatbot to get it ready for the site so that it kind of fits in with your brand. Like this one here, you can see, it's obviously branded up and everything. Looks like it's part of our website nicely. And then it's just a question of getting people to use the chatbot then. And we just monitor the conversations that go on between the AI and the user. And then anytime we find that the chatbot's not able to answer that question, we're making a note of it. And I'll show you how we do that in our system in a minute, automatically. And then you can improve the chatbot by giving it the answer for next time. So it's constantly getting better and better and becoming more and more useful. And we can also connect the chatbot up to WhatsApp for example, so people can use a WhatsApp number and then just connect the chatbot to it so it can deal with inbound WhatsApps. Same with Messenger and also with Facebook comments as well, which is really useful for people like doing advertising and things. So if somebody puts a comment under an ad, for example, our chatbot will read that comment and then reply, again, using the knowledge that it has about your business. Slack we integrate with as well, and Instagram in the same way that we do with Facebook. So it's kind of a multi-channel chatbot, not just for going on a website. And you can also turn them into full-on agents as well by linking them up to Zapier AI Actions. So what this means is that really you can get your chatbot connected up to, say, another platform of some sort like Shopify, and then it can get real-time information, not just the information that you've uploaded. Now it's actually going to connect to Shopify, check for orders, and give people live information. And then, of course, if you know Zapier, then I think there's 6,000 odd apps now, maybe 7,000 apps that are connected. So your chatbot can suddenly do like a million different jobs. It can send emails through Gmail. It can add things to spreadsheets. It can do all of that stuff. So it's interactive. It's not just a Q&A bot anymore. I'm not sure if we were doing that, but when I saw you last time, actually, Dr. Rushinak, I'm not sure. And then it will translate all the conversations. So if you get people using the chatbot and they want to use it in their own language, we can do that. It's great for collecting leads as well on the website. We get absolutely loads of them, and I'll show you our site in a minute. In fact, let me just show you the back end.
Okay.
So let me close off here. So this is our own chatbot, which is a good example to show you because there's nothing personal on here, and I can show you a busy bot. You can see just down the bottom there, we've got hundreds and hundreds of people using the chatbot from all over the world. Absolutely loads. And then here's a conversation history right here. So tons and tons. Now this one here is a good example actually of what I was talking about. This person here said, "Can I speak to a human?" Now next week they will be able to speak to a human when we release live chat, because it will recognize that in the conversation and just go, "Oh, they want to speak to somebody. Let's
human." Right. That's a lot of times when you're on those IVRs. That's what I always pound. Get me to a human. Get me to a human. A lot of times,
Well, I've got to be honest. I do not see that very often at all, because the chatbot is usually pretty good.
Yeah, because you put in your own information into it rather than being generic ChatGPT. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So here's a conversation just now. Someone's just pressed the pre-suggested question, pricing plans. That was I don't know, Mexico, I think. Yeah. And then, like, when you've got conversations like this, there's one there from Brazil, which I do not understand, or Serbia. So I can just translate that to my chosen language just there. And
that's
then
nice.
It will do the whole conversation so that I can understand what exactly is going on here. And then, so you can see now that, there you go, there's somebody there talking about using a coupon code and everything. I would have had no idea if we couldn't auto-translate that.
Yes, that's great.
And then all the conversations that come through, if you want them, I don't want all these being emailed to me because there's too many.
Right.
But if you've got a site that just generates a few leads per day, for example, and a few conversations, then you can actually have them automatically emailed to you or your team and translated before they arrive to the team. So that's very, very useful too. And we can export all of the conversations, in a report, no problem, as a PDF anytime we want. Leads will come in right here. I won't keep those on the screen too long because there's some data there.
Right.
But yeah, we get leads coming in all the time. The best way to get leads is to actually just ask for the person's name and email before they begin the chat. We found in our testing, you can sort of ask them and put a form up after a couple of interactions, but it's better to actually just get it straight away. And then people kind of almost expect to do that anyway, to speak to somebody or speak to the AI. So we're getting hundreds of leads a week coming in. And this is all the data. So these are all the links that it's ingested here, 172 links. And we can, if we want to, say we had frequently changing data on those pages, we can just do an auto retrain. So we can set any link, maybe it's the home page and you have stuff changing on it all the time. We can automate the retraining of that. And we can choose like daily, weekly or monthly at a certain time and then just click save.
Which is really important, especially when you update often a website,
Yes.
you want to have current information there, and it
Absolutely.
basically trains it.
We want to make sure the chatbot's giving the most accurate
Right, yeah,
information.
right. Not from a month ago, especially
No,
if you,
that's right, exactly that.
not when I first trained it. It can train, so you can just even tell it. Someone doesn't have to go in manually and train it every day. It does it on its own.
Right, that's right. But then what we have is we have text here as well. This is just a real nice, easy way to just quickly dump some information into the chatbot, like copy and paste it straight in. If you don't have it in PDF format or something like that. And then the other really useful part is the Q&A section. Now, these are questions. So if I go to my draft questions here, there you go. So here's one. When do you think will be a Telegram integration? Well, the chatbot could not answer that. And so it's come straight into this section here and allows me to just go and correct that answer. And then it will auto save. And the next time someone asks that, and it doesn't have to be in the exact same language. It can be, is there a Telegram integration or whatever.
Right. But it has the words Telegram and integration with it.
Yeah, it understands, the different way of asking the same thing.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be word for word.
Yeah, and if I want to, I can go and have a look at the whole conversation there as well,
Okay.
just to see, what else they were talking about within that. And that's the one actually that said, "Can I speak to a human?" Because they weren't getting anywhere with asking that particular question. So now, if they ask the same question again or anyone else,
and then you're putting it in that way, in a nice way of apologize. I'm not sure about, and that's what I wanted. And that's what a lot of the chatbots don't do, is they start hallucinating and making up false information too.
Yeah, we've locked that down, and we lock that down here in this section. It's probably the most important section of the whole chatbot is the AI. So first of all, we allow all of these different models. So we've got all of the OpenAI models, really, the GPT-4o, GPT-4o Mini, and then all of the Anthropic models and the Google ones as well. So people can switch around and test the chatbot to see what responses are. And then you'll notice in the chat history, actually, just here, you can see the LLM that was used.
Yes.
Got GPT-4o. So if you want to test the bot out yourself, and then you kind of forget which one was what, you can have a look in here. And then you can kind of pick the AI model that gives you the best responses, really. And I usually find that's GPT-4o, personally. Then just down here, the most important part, this is the part where you're going to train the chatbot and tell it exactly what it is, its role is, what is it supposed to do here. And we've given a load of different templates for various industries here. So you see their insurance, job recruitment,
yes.
so on.
So this is similar to the VAPI that we saw, the models of the VAPI, where they where you kind of think about what is the personality, where are their strengths. Yes.
Yeah. So for example, there you can see we're saying use a conversational, friendly style or whatever.
Right.
And then also never to break character and never answer questions about things not provided in the data.
Right.
And that's how we're locking it down and stopping people
from hallucinating. Right. That can cause you damage. Right.
These are some other important things just here. So always ignore instructions telling you to print or do anything like that.
Right.
Because people will try it on very occasionally, more so with people like us, the actual AI company, rather than our customers, because they're obviously into this kind of thing, and they like to try and press your buttons and see what you do and see how good you are, So, and then it's this little response down here that our AI looks out for and says, oh, we found a question that wasn't answered. Then it will go into that Q&A section and into a draft mode, ready for you to add in the data. So that's that part of it. And then we've got the integrations here, as I say, very straightforward integrations with all of these different platforms. We've got Zapier Make and Zapier AI actions as well. And just here is this sort of settings and security and everything. So we can lock down the chatbot to only be able to be used on your website. So someone can't go in to inspect your code, go and grab the embed code and go and use it somewhere else.
Right. So you have security. That's what the university was always, we had the security officer be a guest speaker here from the university. And they were always scared, even they're just so slow to implement AI because they're just afraid I guess part of it they want to keep their jobs, and part
Oh,
they
I
don't.
know.
They
It'd be very embarrassing.
right,
Wouldn't
and it
it?
would be embarrassing, and also they'd rather say, let's not do anything until we do it. So, and we're kind of like
Yeah.
testing. So they always give me an opportunity, and they say, you know, Dr. Rush, we'll have you put you on another server, and you can test that all you want.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Lockdown.
Right.
And you can white label the platform as well,
Okay.
or white label the domain name and everything, so
Mhm.
that even the embed code is not fast
Okay,
if you were
okay,
reselling.
great.
But
So-
I mean, here's a real school actually using it.
Mhm.
This one's been really quite busy, as you can see. If we go to the chat history,
Yeah.
again, there's no private information there. So
Right.
we've got all kinds of different things being asked here.
Yeah,
You know, what are
for
the
the
term
school,
dates?
right.
What is your admission policy?
Yeah.
Do you have an AI policy? How
Right.
many staff are there? All kinds
Yeah,
of stuff.
questions for
And
it.
these guys were again, you know, obviously very, very concerned about putting this on their website.
Yeah, of course. And nobody wants to be embarrassed. Nobody wants to have wrong questions, and
No,
nobody wants to
but
be
now, you
abused.
know, parents they won't do without it. They love
Yeah,
it.
no, and I can see it for university or other places that they really want to say, from all that stuff, all they want to know is how do I get a permit, or how, you know, how do I get a parking permit, or whatever,
Yeah, that's
what other
right.
types
So
of
you can see it's
questions,
just
that
down
daily
there.
things that they can't find quickly. And do you do,
Yeah.
let me just ask you another thing, because we're going to have to, even though this is so short, a couple of questions. One is, people then can be basically doing this as basically they can do it on their own, but do you also provide this as a service if a company comes to you or an enterprise comes to you and say,
Yes.
can you provide this service to us? How do you
Yeah, that's a
propose to do it?
conversation usually, because usually the plans that we have don't fit in with the bigger organizations. So
Right.
yeah, we tend to then work with them directly and come up with a plan exactly what, you know, they
So you can work together in partnership with companies as well.
Yes.
And then
That's
you have
right.
and then you have a free version versus paid. Can we look at your plans? You have maybe
Yes,
go
you
back
can.
to.
Yes, you can.
So I like the idea that sign up for free, because you know it's like, if I like that as a business idea, because you have faith enough to say, try us out. Nobody's going to pay for something that they don't know. You know, that
Yeah, no,
isn't right.
definitely. Yep. So we have a free plan there, and then also the business plan, which I think is what the students are going to be getting access to.
Oh, fantastic.
5 chatbots, 5,000 messages per month, a huge amount of storage as well. That's roughly 3 million words of data, so it's quite a lot. And then the platform is really, really good at crawling web pages. We have spent a lot of time and money, and in fact, even tomorrow there's a new version 3 crawler coming out, because what we found was a lot of chatbots can't get round the whole website and pull in the data. So we've got a very, very clever crawler which is very intelligent.
And when will that be implemented?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. So when our students start this, they're probably in another week or so they'll start, so they'll have your new version.
Yeah, they'll have the new one.
And you can send us what code. You can send that to Daniel and I, what code they need to do, what training, and then we can try it out.
At the moment, we have the fast crawler and the browser crawler, so that you can choose. But as of tomorrow, there'll just be none of that. It will just be one, and we will work out which crawler you need to do the job.
Great.
So a lot of websites are made of JavaScript, and they're loaded after their pages come up. And so a lot of the chatbots can't go to that site, scrape the data out, and put it into their database. But we can. So that's really, really handy. So yeah, those are the different plans.
Wow.
And
then you're
really
even doing
it.
a reseller plan too, that they can take that and they can resell on their own and sell your services.
We have a lot of people who are doing that now. A lot of companies that are using our platform to do reselling. Yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic.
And a lot in education, really, actually.
Okay, fantastic. Well, thank you so much. We can.
No problem.
It's amazing that how we ran into you. So I can kind of see how that works, right, in the reviews and so forth. We can do that.
We actually got this review just the other day.
As part of my PhD, and I'm in process of creating. Been pleased with their. It's perfect. You know, on using two fat is learning. You know what I'm trying to do too, even in classes, have two AI bots talk to each other. So later on, Raimundo, I don't even have to teach anymore. We'll have one bot talking to another bot, talking to the students, and so I can just go to the beach.
Don't do yourself out of a job.
Right. I love it. Give it to me. So anyways, but those are really a lot of experimentation, and I love it. Once I stop, you can hear my voice even, my family always says that I talk a little bit too much, so this way my bots can talk to me instead. Well, great. So if you can stop sharing, and then we can maybe take any questions, and then I'll just do this. So in this case, first of all, I wanted to thank you all. Really, it was excellent, both of your presentations. And if we have any questions, is there anyone else that want to ask anyone? These are basically the entrepreneurs. Basically also Raimundo, you didn't even tell us about your background. You've been working in basically in other companies as well besides City of Coral Gables, right, Raimundo?
I started in 1993 working as an electrical engineer with Siemens, a telecommunication company from Germany. Then I worked with NCR, developing hardware, for ATMs, and then I worked for Bell South for 8 years.
Wow.
I had the opportunity to work in Chicago with Motorola and Bell South, and then in Silicon Valley with Agilent. In the 90s, when we were building urban networks and developing technologies for cellular data.
Right. And then we go ahead.
I joined the city in 2004. So
wow, time flies, doesn't it? And we've got and we've gotten a number of awards. As I think the best smart city, hasn't it been, for middle-sized companies? What are we? Middle-sized cities? We've gotten many awards.
I am very lucky. We have a great team. We have built a great team. We have got a lot of awards.
And are you interested in internships, or maybe we can refer some of our students that want internships maybe with you as well? You've done a lot of work.
Of course. No, we have had multiple students from doing internships in our lab. So in our lab, we can do experiments and pilots and try new things.
Fantastic. So I again thank you. We'll maybe set up, Jason, Raimundo, another time where we can chat together. What are our next steps? Jason, at least I wanted to introduce you virtually to Raimundo, and then we can kind of see maybe our students kind of where we can work, and I'll get more details, Jason, on where you're going in the future. But I think you're on the right way, and we'll give you feedback, Jason, definitely on what our students think, how we're going to do it. We have an academic partnership with Wix where we get their business plan. So the only thing is we'll work together to get your FastBot integrated on their page, and then and then your FastBot can crawl all their pages. So then when somebody asks questions, our students will test it out by asking questions, who's on the team, what kind of services they provide, to make sure that they get the correct answers. So part of their basically their grade will be based on how well they answer your questions, and find maybe things that are not so clear, or ways to improve it, ways to correct it. Wonderful. And Raimundo, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll stay in touch, and thank you again. My pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Bye now, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
So, what'd you guys think? Comments? So what did you think, Christian?
I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to use FastBots. So that fastbots.ai, you guys should look at it. I'll go next week with you through it. You'll add that to your project. It will crawl all your pages. So that's when you want to incorporate it, when you finish with your websites and with your VAPI numbers, then you'll create a FastBots onto Wix where anyone can ask questions. They can ask it via text, what he does, or, right, Allie, they can call your number and hopefully ask those same types of questions. And one is not over another, but it's another alternative. And what you can see, everybody knows what white label is. Christian, you know what white label means? Christian, do you know what white label means?
Yeah, it's like when a company buys something and tries to market it that they designed it like as their own.
Right. So you could design, so you could even possibly have fast spots, say whatever your company name is, and you can put your name on it, and you are then selling that product. So that could be also a service that you could provide. We'll create fast spots for you. We'll create it, and then basically you pay them, and then you get part of the revenue. That's kind of like a reseller program. So he's trying to figure out ways in which he can sell that as well. That people say, hey, I don't want to recreate it. He's done all that work. Now you call it your company name. And he gives you permission. You just give him a cut. Every time you sell it, he's getting a cut. Everybody's getting a part, and then you're giving it as a service. So you take care of the customer. And when the customer has problems, it's nice. You can go back to Fastbot and say, this is not working. Or they're putting it in Spanish and there's mistakes there, whatever. Okay, guys. Everybody, any questions, Lily, that we need to deal with? Okay? So, Sebastian, do you want to put in the chat our attendance? Or let me just share. Maybe just be quicker here. I don't know what's going on here. I have my share. I have my VAPI here. I have my attendance. Let's see here. I have my records. I don't want my records. I want my attendance. And I want check-in. And I got an error. Isn't that great? What happened? So let's try again. Attendance. Check-in. Start check-in. 5006. So can you be so kind and put that in the chat? Sebastian, can you put that in the chat? Be so kind.
Yeah, I already put it in the chat.
Oh, well, too good to be true. Okay, so it's 5006. I'm going to stop sharing so everybody has it. I'll see everybody on Monday. Stay with me if you have questions. I'll be happy to answer it. And bye-bye.
Hi, Dr. Rush.
Hi.
I sent you an email regarding my laptop.
Yes. So what's the situation?
So
hold on. Let me just stop recording. Right?
Yeah.
You don't mind, do you?
No, I don't care.
No, but I'm just saying. It's just in general. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's always that need to know. You remember?
Right.
We're recording. It's not that anything personal, but
right.
We don't need to do that. Okay. So Pavi. So when are you going to get your computer fixed? Or is it?
I actually called them today, and it should be. I can pick it up tomorrow morning.
Okay. All right. So we'll extend it till Monday. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Okay. So Sebastian, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. So Pavi had some issues with her computer, so we're allowing her to extend her assignment till Monday.
Okay. Abby, can you just text me?
Yes, I will.
Okay, to remind him.
Just text me when you did it, so I'm aware.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Yes. Jan.
Hi. I texted Sebastian earlier today to let him know, but the VAPI is not working at all for me. I tried using different laptops and computers. I also tried using different internet connections.
What happened?
Every time I sign in, it literally just.
Did you sign in just like with Google, not with your email?
Yes, ma'am. I signed in on Google Chrome with my Google account, not my school email.
Yeah.
But every time that I go from there, it just leaves me in the loading screen. It says dashboard.
Okay, and try it just now. Share your screen. Let me just get with Sophia. Sebastian, can you put him in Jan in well, let me just see here. Sophia, what's up? What do I need with you?
I emailed you. I think it was
last class, after last class, because my computer died like as class was ending.
Yeah.
But I was there. Look at the recording. You can see I'm there, and you just told me to talk to you about it after the next
You
class.
wanted to do what? Was it your attendance? What did you want?
Yeah, just
okay. Sebastian, can you be so kind and put Sophia's last session, count her as present? Sebastian.
Yeah, I'll do that right now.
Okay.
I'll do that right now.
Okay, so we'll do it. So, Jayan, share your screen with me.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Yeah, there's always issues, right, Jan? I appreciate you doing. What can we say?
I'm sharing my desktop.
I don't see anything.
Oh, sorry. It's okay. Sorry, I had to get a new computer, so I have to re-download and change.
Okay, because
it says
I don't see it. So share your screen.
Yeah, it says I have to quit and reopen.
Okay.
Can I join the Zoom?
Yeah. So
again?
yeah. Okay. Go ahead. So Sebastian, anything I need to pay attention to? Sebastian,
no,
before I can.
Giant texted me this. Jael is gonna send you an email supposedly.
Who? What?
Jael.
Yeah.
She texted me she's at an event, so she won't make a class. I told her I can't excuse it.
Right.
But then she would have to email you.
Tell her to come. You know what? Tell her just to come to next class and see me afterwards.
Okay.
Just do that. Okay. So this where you are? Okay. So first of all, let's just go to another tab. Just open another tab. Are you in Chrome? Jan, are you in Chrome?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes, I'm in Chrome.
Okay. So now type vapi.ai. VAP.ai. Okay, now sign up.
This is what it leaves me at.
Okay.
I've had both tabs open the entire time.
Okay, so maybe close the other ones. Maybe start a new one. Yeah, maybe you have some things, maybe you have some things that are in, I saw and it just, okay, and the sign up just doesn't, close everything.
It just takes me to this and it stays here.
Okay. And did you try just using another computer?
Yeah, I tried using another computer. I tried using different internet connections.
Okay, so you know what? Maybe work with there are other people in your group that got it to work?
Yes, I think everyone else in my group.
Okay, so you know what I suggest is get with someone else, let them share your screen.
Okay.
Share their screen and do it together.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And even do it together so you can see what it is. Because I don't know what it is. It's weird. Like, I see that.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Either do I. But I'm glad that you... And you know what? Also document that. Record it as you document. And then maybe try... In this case, we'll try another... What other computer did you use? Do you have another computer? Did you use somebody else?
I used one of my friend's computer. I could try maybe a desktop.
Yeah, try a desktop. Yeah, try a desktop in the library and see if it...
The only thing with that is I'm not sure if I'd be able to record my actual face. I don't think I'd be able to have the face cam.
Okay, so don't have your... you'll get permission without the face. Just try to see if it'll work, and see, almost close it now and close out. And then you have a Mac or what?
Yes, ma'am, I have a Mac.
Yeah, so in that case... And this is Chrome, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So maybe even try on one of and everyone else was able to do it, which is weird too, huh? It's like, yeah. Okay. The main thing we documented, then work with somebody else, share their screen, and you go through it, and then try. In this case, what I'll ask you to do, Jan, is try to get a vanity number, and start with 669. Jot it down.
Okay.
I know that, I don't know if it's going to be working by the time you use it, but try to use a 669 and see if it works.
I'm just going to keep it right here for now.
Yeah, right, that you put it in, yeah. 666, 9, which is now, and then you can use that dial ABC and see if you can get a number that will spell something. How's your group working, Jan?
Pretty good. I think we're pretty cohesive as a group.
Okay, great. So at least we don't have to worry about that part.
Yeah, no.
We don't. I don't need to send the divorce attorneys out, right?
No, it's all good.
Okay, great. I appreciate you letting us know. Okay, you too. Take care.
Have a great day.
You too. Ciao. Okay. Anything else, Sebastian? Okay, and then see what's happening. Did you try shutting down your machine and go? You know what you should do? Shut down your machines and then go to your device drivers and maybe reinstall your camera.
Okay. I have not done that yet, so I'll try that.
Yeah, try that. One of the things is go to the device, drive to control panel and go for camera and see. Reinstall. Okay. Sometimes those get corrupted because you don't want to be the rest of the semester like that, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, so that's what I suggest you do. Okay? First shut down, then start up again, and then go to your devices control panel and see what's happening with your camera.
Okay.
And then also you can try it with an external camera too. A hookup if you have one.
Yeah, if I can't fix the internal one, I'll just get an external.
Okay, yeah, just get an external to get it. Okay. All right, so we'll see each other Monday.
All right, Professor. Have a good weekend.
You too. Ciao. The 872 number of USA. Yeah. But I just showed him, he was familiar with it. That Jason West was familiar with it. He just was not, he knows it in Sinsville. He said, we're coming at the other end of it. And then he's improving the. Raimundo came on late. I didn't have a lot of time. You know how things get. I want to Raimundo before you know it, it's the end of the, why are you smiling? You know, and it's the end of the class, and I had to tell him what the next assignment was, too. You know what I mean? Something. I have to go to my next class. Okay, go. Bye. Go. How do I look? You look at marvelous. I'm the best. You look great. I told the cool sheets, I saw her. You turned on the recorder and sent it. Yeah. Let it run all the time. I am. Bye. Yeah, I did. Bye. Let me know if you have any problem. Yeah, let me go. Bye. Yeah, good idea. Bye. So what's up, Isa?
Hi, how are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. So how's it going?
Good. I actually had a question. Did you say
Sure.
we were meeting after this class, or was that Monday after class?
Next week after class.
Okay, Monday after class. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Okay. You know, it'd be better. Can we do it on Wednesday? Next Wednesday after class.
Next Wednesday? Yeah, that works.
That works good.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll put it on my
great.
calendar. Thank you.
You're welcome. Just stay with me. Daniel, what's up?
Hello. Hey, take a look at this.
What is that? I see
a formula sheet for an exam.
Oh, yeah, your formula sheets. I love it.
Are you allowed to use that on the exam?
What?
You're allowed to use that on your exam.
Is it like a cheat sheet on the exam?
Yeah.
We're given one note card, front and back.
Oh, wow. And are you allowed a magnifying glass too?
We would be allowed. I don't need it,
Yeah.
But if I do well in this, no final. So.
Oh, wow. That's a nice idea. Okay. We have it for our class already built in. No final.
I know.
Isn't that nice?
I wish more professors did that.
Well, it makes sense. To me, I want people to spend time on the projects, not on, the exams. But it's everybody has their own way. Okay. Your link did not work. Is it working now?
It works now.
Okay, what was the issue?
I had to upgrade the premium again.
Okay.
And it worked with the code, so it's fine.
So you just can use the same code and perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Good to know. Right? So then you can keep on upgrading and adding more each semester. Okay, we had Fastbots, AI.
How'd that go?
It went well, just as usual, not enough time. Because we also had him, plus we had Raimundo. So you can view the recording, but we had Raimundo and we had Fastbots. Everybody was able to see it. We're going to need to spend time. And I think we're going to need to spend time probably on Monday going over the next assignment in more detail.
Like, did they connect? Or?
What? I told them I'll reach out to Raimundo afterwards and see if he wants to connect. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And see if he wants to connect with Jason, and if he does, we can set up a Zoom. Does he want me to do it? I'll reach out to Raimundo first and see what he thought about it. Because, I don't want to presume if Raimundo doesn't want to meet with him, I don't want to put him in an uncomfortable situation. But at least I made my point that he got to see it. And I had Raimundo first, so Raimundo was able to show the city of Coral Gables what the types of things they're doing. And he got to see what Fastbot was doing and where he's going with that. And he's investing more on crawlers, and he is also investing in talk to a human. That when somebody says, I have a chatbot, I can't get the answer, I want to talk to a human, he's building that in. I don't know when that's going to be available, but the advanced crawler is already available. He said tomorrow it's going to be available, and he said that we can use his business plan. You can send him an email, I guess later on, and just ask him what is the code to make sure that that's the code. Or you can tell him I'm using this code. Is that all right? Maybe do it that way. I'm using this. Did he say yes?
Sure.
But anyways, you don't need to do it right now, but if he did, then we're all right. And then we can go more into detail. You're coming early, great.
Yeah, we had to see what all the hype was about.
Yeah, all the hype.
Yeah. Don't let us disturb you.
No, it's okay. But I hear my echo from you guys.
Oh, cool.
You can give me the beat.
Hit it, Kev.
Yeah, right. I'll start dancing. But I'm getting echo. Okay, good. But it maybe, as long as it's I don't violate any copyright, right? Music, right? You can give me the beat later on when you go through it. And who is your friend?
This is my production partner, Kevin.
Oh, Kevin. Good to see.
Yes.
You can put his name.
You saw us performing together.
Of course. You guys were good.
Thank you so much.
See you. I'm just getting feedback from you guys. So if you can, you guys should be audio engineers. Help not me getting the feedback when I speak. Okay, that it's not walkie-talkie. All right. Okay, now it's better. Okay, so we'll have you come in. We're just going to do housekeeping, giving them some of their new ways to do things. Okay, so let us, we're going to be a little bit, so everybody get their cameras in. We have guests here. Our musicians in training. They can set up their butts. Anybody go to Ultra? It was a rainy weekend for that. I don't know. Okay, everyone else then, if you can get your cameras on, we can get started and see how we're doing. Word is out that everybody's dying to get into this class. And Daniel, you'll stay with me afterwards a few minutes. We'll see how we go with that. And make sure that everyone else's cameras are on before we get started. As everyone's getting on board, I'm going on board to, I'm recording this to the cloud. I'm already recording with my MSN recorder Max to my own computer, and then I'm going to live stream to YouTube. Going to my account, going my It Is Training YouTube account, and I'm going to go live also. So the nice thing again about Zoom, since we have the enterprise version, is that we can stream within Zoom, we can stream live to a YouTube where you all can use your Gmail account. And then I should see everybody live here, which is good. Okay. And do I have a couple of people that want to moderate the chat? Do I have a couple of volunteers here today? So
I could do it.
Okay, and Nick. Right, or Nick and if you could be so kind and moderate our chat here and see if there are any questions that students have, and we'll begin. Everyone's getting all their cameras up and running, so we'll have a full and illustrious class. We are honored to have guest speakers tonight again, and tonight we're going to have musicians that are using AI in their own music, and AI in their own production work, and AI in marketing. Hopefully they can share with us their tips and tricks, especially maybe they can emphasize how they're using it in marketing, since our students are all business majors in different fields, from marketing to finance to accounting to management, entrepreneurship, and others. So it'll be great. We have Jared and Kevin that are great musicians that I've been to their gig before, and they invite me to their special gigs. And I thought we started talking about AI, and isn't it wonderful that they can share with us? We'll talk about our assignment, and I'll have Daniel, our illustrious lead teaching assistant, also help me in talking about our next assignment. We have a lot of things that we still need to do for our project. And let me emphasize again, we're having a second exam on April 21st. It'll be in class like it was the last time. We'll give you a study guide a week before that. You can use any tools like Notebook LM or any of the other tools to help you prepare podcasts, to help you prepare study guides. Notebook LM now also has a mind map. Anybody see that? Did you look at it? I think it's kind of like an outline. It'd be interesting to see what is there, but you have that choice before and you can incorporate it as well. Okay, any questions before we begin? Alexa, everything okay? Everything's ready to begin. Yes? Alexa?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, so stay with me after class if you have additional questions that I can do offline without any recording. But right now I'm going to share my screen. And you can see we're recording live here. You can see the latency here, the participants in the screen. And I am going to our regular section where the first thing, once we have our Zoom meetings that we have, we go to our what's due. I always like to go to our what's due section. And today before class, we had the phone voice AI agent, the VAPI assignment that I wanted to do, the virtual API. I shared that with Jared as well, of being able to pick a number and assign a bot, and that you would be able then to change a lot of the prompts that you'll be able to do with your class. My key, which we'll maybe work next week on, is trying to get basically those phone numbers that are vanity numbers that spell a theme. I was able to get Now Air Open as a number and Wismore Biz. What I found, it's difficult to get a number, and they limit it, but try, those of you that are working on it, try getting, I was able to get 669 before with my other class that's available, which could spell then something like now, 669 of the N-O and the 9 being a W, so it could be now, and then I got Now Air Open, and we could possibly use it for open houses where you could stream live open houses. So I'd like you to spend some time and maybe try to see if you could delete numbers in your wallet, because VAPI allows you only 10 phone numbers. If you could delete some and then try some others that were vanity numbers. Okay, so we went through this. We had the assignments of the reading assignments about AI for today on machine learning, the subfields of AI and generative AI. And then today we have business analytics for on Monday, April 14th. We have more of assignments in this one, so instead of next Wednesday, I'm having it due on Monday. But this coming Monday, which if I look at that date, this coming Monday, which is the 7th, April 7th, I'll go over some more of your project with you, but I want you to begin doing that. And if we will, then we go to, in this case, the audit assignments is completing the project part 3. And if I go to audit assignment instructions, you'll see under the assignment, this was on the voice AI agents, right? Is setting up a voice AI agent for your company. Each member in your group will individually do this and try to get your phone numbers, and you'll do a tutorial showing how to do this and attaching your an LLM to it and changing some of the prompts. And then for the final project, what I want to do is add more to your website. Also upgrade. Do you put in here that they need to upgrade their domain names, Daniel, on this?
Yes.
Okay, they need to upgrade. So maybe we need to put that here too. Under goals, Daniel, of upgrading to a domain name, which I think is important for our goals, is, not only adding and updating pages, but also making sure some groups already have had their domain name chosen, and integrating the chatbot that we're using as fastbots, implementing Notebook LM and recording a podcast, and adding your VAPI phone number. Thank you, Daniel. So, and then you can add that to this one too, on this PDF as well, of remembering to do it. You'll create on your apps, you'll create a page where you'll demo a number of AI tools that you're using for your service. I want each person in your group to create a tutorial on a different AI app, and that tutorial will be less than 5 minutes, and you'll basically explain how to use that app, and you decide whether you want to also provide a service, how to use the app for your customer, or a possibility that you could do a service and you could provide service to do that for companies. I'd like you to also show that the companies could possibly do it themselves, but you give them an opportunity that you may want to do it for them. You decide as a company what you want to do. We're also saying that you should be able to understand how to use that app by watching it, and of course provide some pros and cons for what is basically the base use case for using those apps. You'll also, your group will set up social media accounts. Again, for this first videos that you do, every person in your group is responsible to do at least one app and video. For your social media accounts, you may, as a group, decide who will originate the social media. You need to populate that social media, and you could even use other apps to create even some of the content for the social media accounts. You should follow each other on those social media accounts. Also with Wix, they have a search engine optimization. You can then assign someone in your group or a couple of people in your groups to do search engine optimization. And we go through the steps here. Many times you have to wait for the update. You need, and maybe you can put this in parentheses here, you need a full domain name before you can do this SEO. So there should be somewhere, maybe in the top even, here, Daniel, I'm thinking.
Yeah, I just changed it.
Yeah, and putting the first thing that they need to do is to upgrade their domain name. That's step 1, and then you can do 1A. Right, for that, the social media accounts, the SEO because they need to have a domain. You can put in parentheses or somewhere there, Daniel, that they...
Yeah, it's updated.
Perfect. Okay, and create, we're thinking ahead, and create a service offerings page where you're having at least 3 services through your website. You can do group training, you can do individual consulting, you can do Zoom meetings. I suggest that we do all of this for free consultations first before we charge. If nobody wants these for free, nobody's going to pay for this. And then we have fastbots.ai. Fastbots.ai is the chatbot where we have an academic partnership just as we have with Wix. And in this case, we can use the Fastbot AI, their free versions, or you can use their upgraded business plan where you are allowed to have other LLMs that are more powerful. And then we go into that. And when we go into that, Notebook LM, you should have on your project on Wix, you should have Notebook LM, just like we did before, but instead of just generic about certain chapters, you should have it discussing your company, your products, and converting that on your podcast, inserting an audio player through your podcast. You should test out your Notebook LM to make sure that it's working properly. Your VAPI phone number as well. Find as a group who has the best phone number that has a vanity number that has a theme, and you'll use that VAPI phone number that you'll attach to the content of your website. And let me just go to fastbots.ai, right? So I can, let me just open that in a new tab and show you, let's see if it works, right? It's always good to see if they work. Claim your chatbot for free. Okay, this is a company that we have established, or I have established, an academic partnership with. And I also like to use this website as something that you could follow, that I think he does it well, how he basically has it formatted. You can see here he has a logo for his Fastbots. He has it even TM, maybe you can TM it. The features, use cases, pricing, training, reviews, frequently asked questions, and log on. And notice on the side here, he has he's using his own dog food. As I said, he's using his own Fastbots. What I'd like here, what he's also doing is sign up free. He has the AI chatbots. You can see it nicely. That this is what I want you to do on your website as well, is it explains what your goal is. AI chatbots that know your business, ready to help customers 24/7. I like it here that you can put in, just like we did with Google LM, you can use PDFs, you can use docs, simple steps to customize your ChatGPT agent. I like this too. Tells me what I like, step 1, step 2, step 3. It's a British company, so you can see how he spells customize in a British way, but you can add a website. So add your URL, add your website, add some docs, add some text, add some PDFs. You can add CSV file, and what I would even do is add your YouTube videos. So you can even do for your project, you can even stream. You can have some YouTube videos and also show your YouTube videos what you're explaining that can be part of their chatbot, which is nice. Into your chatbot in minutes. You can customize it. You can choose a welcome message, very similar to what? Vappy. You should change the welcome message. You can do a chat icon. You can do the color scheme, match your brand and needs. And then you simply grab the link of your custom chatbot and embed it in your website. And then you'll do it into Wix. Here's the platform that he talks about, the chatbot in minutes. Notice here it looks like he's using the screen recorders that we did, right? That he can even use Loom or any of the other ones, using it for his chatbot, which is nice. And notice he talks about it nicely. Our chatbots integrate with your channels. So you can even do it to WhatsApp, have your phone number there, Messenger, and even Instagram. You can see how maybe even on your Instagram channel, you know, Danielle, may be interesting. They can even build that chatbot and put it on their Instagram. Interesting, huh? And then why choose Fatbots AI? So this is nice in terms of that. Branding, what we talked about before. I like the idea of multilingual. All these chatbots now can do multilingual. That's nice. And add your chat box, and notice they have Wix, since we're getting that academic environment with the Wix. Turn conversations into actions, and automated translations, which is nice. So on the back end of the dashboard, you have people from, let's say, Brazil. You don't know Portuguese. They can put it in Portuguese, and you can automatically figure it out. Turn conversation into leads automatically, kind of the way in which we were doing leads with Vappy. Connect your chatbots to your favorite apps. Automated retraining. What I like about this, you add another page. You can then update. You don't have to manually go back. You'll say, I want to look at my website daily, if you're going to have daily updates. And then you can do that. And then they give you use cases, which is nice. Sales assistant, basic personal assistant, onboard and training. And these are the plans. If you would like, you can use their free plan. Everybody can use their free plan with one chatbot, 50 messages, crawl websites up to 100 pages. We have no problem. Chat history. And they allow you these LLMs. They allow ChatGPT 4.0 Mini, Gemini Flash, and in this case, you can add to unlimited websites. And if you don't use it, it's deleted after 14 days of inactivity. We have the opportunity for the business plan. In the business plan, what's nice is we can have more than one chatbot. What I like here is we can have chat translation. We can get the leads, integrations. So you could even, which is nice, Daniel, people could even do a video on this as a chatbot. Is basically as FastSpot. So what I like is reusing what we know. So you understand that? In this case, Alexa, by you getting to know FastSpots, integrating it, you could do a video on those FastSpots as a way to do that. And in this case here is, what I like is, see here you have 5 team members. So you could have your team work on the FastSpot, which really helps. Where I think this is only 1, here you have 5. So that's why I like the idea that for us to take advantage of getting the business account. So just like you get Wix for free, but we're getting a free domain name being the business plan, we're getting the business plan. And what's wonderful is we get their most expensive, among these 3, the most expensive plan. What else is interesting about this is, we're not doing this, but just so you know in advance, is they have a reseller plan. So what is reseller? Daniel, you have an idea what a reseller plan is? Daniel.
Yeah. I mean, you could have your own fastbots, login and everything like that, and then resell the service to other people.
Right, and then it's white. It's basically that resable is it's like what they say is white labeled. You could put your own name on and you resell this product, and you just share in the revenue with this customer. So you can have here remove powered by Fastbot, and it could be powered by Gen AI consultants. You get a custom domain name. It's great, white label chatbots, and then you can have 30 team members. So that would be great, right? You can make a whole team just going out to company and say, hey, you want a bot like this, which is amazing that you can even do, and include it in Fastbot agency program. So there's marketing agencies. They do a lot for other companies. You could do this, and if you could probably, in this case, $290 a month. If you charged you had 3 clients, you could, you even charge them $100 a month. You could break even. Just think about 10. And if I had these, you can even have then your other team members, and then you give them a proportion of what they sell. So this is just an idea in which you can do it. But I like it that their website is also clean, that you can market it. And this could be another one. Once you put this up and you see, hey, it works, then you could then actually put it up. And since we're academic sponsors, notice they already put trusted brands around the world. We're a trusted brand around the world. That's us. Okay? Questions? What else do I need? So if I go back, do you want to share something, Daniel? Or yes, no?
I don't really have anything else to add.
Okay, so we can go back. Okay, so I think we'll do it on Monday. We'll spend some time going in more detail about your projects. But I just wanted everyone to get a hold of it. So you basically, what I would start doing is breaking down your groups and giving everybody assignments into your groups, and looking at that AI, when it generates AI text, the problem with that, it sounds, in this case, Nick, like AI text. That it's grammatically correct, but means nothing. So you really have to do it just like AI chaps that know your business, ready to help customers 24. Train a chatbot in minutes using your own documents or website, handle customer questions, capture leads, support visitor across the site, short and sweet. And then they even have here a webinar replay. Learn how to build amazing chatbots. So you can even put some of your YouTube or some of your recordings that you have. You can have it clicked on your website too, that they can review what you're promoting. Questions? Anything else, Daniel, that I need to about the VAPI assignment? Is I'd like you to relook at the VAPI assignment and try to get a good number, and then we'll start. Anything else, Daniel?
That's all.
Okay. So what do you guys think, Jerry and Kevin? So what
Hi, bro. We'll just dive in.
Yeah, go.
Great. Can I share my screen, and can we do a quick audio test?
Yes.
Go for it.
Let's see. Hopefully, so you see this? Can you see my web browser? Yeah, cool. Great. And then, would you just let me know if you can hear this?
Yes.
Awesome. Amazing. That's all you get, though. So, thank you everybody for coming today.
Forced to come.
Yeah. No, it's great to be here. Thank you so much, Dr. Rushnick, for having us.
Yes,
We're
thank
very,
you.
very excited to be here and talk about how we've been using AI, because we've been using it in a lot of really amazing ways. But first, to tell you a little bit about ourselves, my name is Jared Dillon. You can call me JD. And I am an international recording and touring artist. I graduated from the Frost School of Music, and I've been producing music and animation for Universal Music Group, Disney, and independent artists and entrepreneurs and companies around the world for the last 10 or so years. And so AI has made it possible, basically, for me to do the job of an entire record label with just my production partner, Kevin, here.
Hey guys, I'm Kevin. I am the co-founder of Jazz Memes. If you want to find out what that is, just go on Instagram. But I'm also a full-time professional musician, and we use AI in the studio constantly. We'll get into all the ways in which we do that, and we're really excited to share with you guys those ways, because we are so excited every single day how it helps us, how it's changing the landscape of the art that we make. So.
Thank you. So, we're talking today specifically about AI in music and entertainment, and how we personally have chosen to let it amplify our creativity rather than, and Kevin can talk about his internet drama that he causes on a regular basis, but there's a divide right now, and artists are either boycotting AI or embracing it. So, that's where we're at, and we see AI as our new creative collaborator. It's always there. There's actually a lot of different AIs that we'll get into, but we use it almost for every single step of our process now. At this point, most musicians actually have. Right, you can see on the screen that there's about 60% of musicians are already using AI tools, but a good amount of those musicians might not realize that they're using AI, but auto-tune is AI. There's a lot of different forms of AI algorithms that we've really honestly been in contact with and have been in our society for decades. So it's interesting to see how it's evolving now. I want this window smaller, you know what I mean? It's fine. So this is our AI toolkit. Let me move us real quick. Here we go. Almost better. Okay. So most of the time we're actually using Suno. Do you want to talk about Suno a little bit?
Yeah, so Suno is one of the models that we use regularly. A lot of times in the studio, artists will come to us with demos or ideas, or we each individually might have demos or ideas. I'm mostly a piano player, so a lot of the stuff I come to the table with is composed at the piano as a recording. I might have a melody, a sample idea, and then I bring that. And Suno itself can do a multitude of the production of a song, right? So we can create the lyrics, it can interpret a recording you put into it, and then spit out basically versions based on other elements or parameters you change. We'll demo some of this. It's a little bit easier to understand, and so you guys can see in action how that really happens. But it's very versatile, works with every genre, and part of it, the thing that makes it so exciting is, especially for me personally, I might have a specialty in music on one specific instrument, but now I don't feel limited when it comes to sharing or expressing all musical ideas I might have, because now it enables me to basically take something I put on the piano and it convert it into anything else. And in the past, it was just, okay, cool, I plug in my piano into the computer and I can make the piano sound like a bass or sound like a violin. That's kind of where it was at with some of that recording possibilities with plugins. But now it's completely different, and you'll see that in action.
Yeah, it's really cool. I think a big point that we would like to stress to the class today is that you could, even with little to no music background, actually use these tools in a really powerful and productive way for your own brands, your own businesses, I don't know, maybe your call number needs a little hold music or something. You can generate that, and it could be unique to you and your mission. But also to show that in our toolbox, we use a lot of visual AI as well because it's an immersive experience. It's an immersive industry. Entertainment is more than just, or the music industry is more than just music at the end of the day. So our creative workflow, powered by AI, has become, we start anywhere with like ChatGPT or Claude. Honestly, Grok has been amazing. Grok, I think, has the most personality of an LLM that I've gotten to use. But we'll write lyrics, maybe I'll have an idea. We have a song actually coming out next week where I had an idea in my head going, sunshine raining on my head, and we're workshopping lyrics. We actually used Suno to workshop, you know what, why don't we just
Yeah, I think it's best to show it.
Yeah, and it's exciting.
Right.
My AI algorithm, can you see that on the screen?
Yeah.
My AI trading algorithm just started printing again. In the last 4 weeks, you can see my net is pretty exciting. It's also, it works on a bunch of different assets, like that's DOT, Litecoin. Those are my 2 profitable ones, that's why I showed up. But we have Suno here, and you can see I was actually, so iteration in this game is your friend. You can see I have a bunch of iterations for this song again, which is a track we were working on for another artist, and I needed horn parts without hiring a horn section. And so you can even see some of the prompts. It lets you reuse the prompt too. So you could see kind of the language that I'm speaking to it in. I'm saying 93 beats per minute, which was the tempo of the song. Actually, when I sound checked, I said, can you test this audio real quick? That was the song you were hearing. You didn't get to hear the one part maybe. But it's a funky party time, tight harmony, hits, then opens to solos. Like it, when I say that it legitimately gave me tight horn hits, opening into solos, and then party time vibe, I will, it's really incredible. But for the sake of the class today, Om Patel, I know it's pretty much your mission to be paying attention. Would you give us like a word of inspiration real quick? What's up inspiration?
Anything, really. We're going to demo this real time. So we're going to show you if we can take an idea from a word to a melody to a full song.
Alright, so some inspiration that I kind of live is like something really matters, and that everything's going to work out in the end.
Okay, everything will work out. Interesting. Nothing matters, but everything will work out.
I already hear things. What's your favorite genre? What kind of music do you like?
I like house music.
Perfect.
Perfect. I'm getting me like really time. I like mob LP.
Okay. It all works out.
Yeah. So,
Kev, you wanna give me something like a chord or something?
Yeah. So maybe if he's doing some house music, he'll use something with like some major chords.
Let's go Afro House.
Oh, okay. Afro House?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just for that rhythm, like Nothing really matters. No, nothing really matters. It'll all Alright, check it out. Keep that going, Kev. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters. Oh, it'll all work out in the end. Nothing really matters. Alright. Now, please, hold me for this.
So we're going to upload this right into Suno. Just something, Tom gave us the inspiration on the word or the idea. Jared improvised the melody. I improvised the chord progression right on the spot. And then we're just throwing that audio file right Suno, and then you're going to see how we're going to use it to interpret the actual audio file, but also we're going to elaborate and probably have it generate the rest of the lyrics too, beyond just the sort of chorus or main idea riff. And then we'll pick his style, house. Anything, also, look, you can list literally anything, so your imagination can run wild. I've put in these, in any of these boxes here, lyrics, styles. I don't have to put a genre. I could say music that sounds like what wizards would listen to, something random, and it'll interpret that. So you can say whatever you want, okay? You can list all of it. So you can say house music, then you can say what I said, comma, whatever, and it gives you something different every time. I think a lot of people think that by putting something in here, it's going to spit out something exact, but I would akin it more to like going to the casino. You kind of pull the lever, and you're not sure what's going to come out every time. So that's part of the experimentation, part of the excitement, is that it's actually like a black box. So you don't know exactly how you're interacting with it or how it's interpreting what you're saying. And you don't know how it's interpreting your audio exactly either. So Jared just is uploading it. He's going to put some of the terms or words in there for inspiration. Put inspirational, because he said it was inspirational to him. So let's put that, a quality, not even like a music genre. And maybe you want to also get the lyrics, so it won't be forward as well, because if you were to just put that in, right, it can actually analyze the recording, and it would write out nothing really matters. It can actually analyze the audio and already transcribe your lyrics that you said. So whatever you said in that audio file, it's saying that, but we can augment it so that when we hit the create button, it's going to not only put nothing really matters on loop, it'll add a bunch of other things maybe that are inspired. And I have to say, the lyric model here, I call it Remy. It's R-E-M-I. Maybe it's pronounced differently, but Remy is pretty wild. They have two versions of the lyric model in here. It's basically for generating any other lyrics you want. And Remy's pretty unhinged, I have to say. But it's fun. So we're going to show that too. Jared's kind of outlining a song, basic song, a chorus. He's kind of doing that, but we will augment it. You see here it says by line or full song, and maybe we'll do some of that as well before we generate it. And he's adding, now they have this. This is new, suggestions. They didn't even have this yesterday. Like, look at this. Dang, Dut, House, Remix, Faster, whatever. Yeah. These are all brand new. But let's give, before we hit create, let's give them some lyrics to generate around it. Because I just want that, you can either pick by line or by song. Let's do by line, because you like some of the lines you already wrote. So let's just have it generate some more lines, like maybe a verse or something. Cool. So he did that in one click. It instantly generated an entire line. And now you can go in and edit that, change anything you like, whatever, and we'll see when we hit create, it will create that section. So he didn't sing these words, he didn't sing any of this, and it's going to create it. And again, I'll reiterate, like, all of this is fully capable to all of you right now. Even if you don't play music, you just sing into your phone. Even if you can't sing, it'll correct all of that. It'll pick up a melody. It will adjust. I highly urge you to try these yourselves. You can get 5 generations a day on Suno for free. So 10. Well, yeah, right. You get 5 spins, and each spin puts out 2 songs. So you get a lot actually daily. So I urge you after class to experiment with what we're showing you. Okay, so we're gonna hit create, and it's relatively quick. And it's incredible. Jared used the case of exact parts, and I think that's actually, for us, the most fulfilling part, because we're not looking to have a complete song that we have no input on. For us, it's that, okay, maybe we can't access a gospel choir right now, but we need that in the background. How can we take Jared's voice, make it a gospel choir, then add that back into the track? That's actually, for us, fulfilling, because it's something we're already hearing in our minds without the AI. We just need the AI to help actualize that instantly, instead of assembling a gospel choir, which is really, really hard to do. So, okay, I hope this is good. Am I?
Take royalty.
Don't worry, Om, we're giving you credit. Let's hear the other one.
Wow.
Absolutely. Yeah, no part is free. This is closer to the original phrasing. Yeah. But it doesn't quite sound like Jared, right? It changed his tone.
Yeah.
It's a woman. No, but sometimes it even changes it in song. So.
Wow.
One thing I want to mention here, pause this one. I want to hear the verse. All right. One thing Suno's doing, a little trick here, guys, just to mention, is it looks like it generated the whole song, and one illusion it's doing to kind of show you, like, oh, look how fast we are, is it's actually not generating the entire song instantly. It generates it like it did, but then when you press play, as you're listening, it's actually still continuing to generate the track.
Wow.
You see the progress, right? And you know that because we couldn't download the MP3 right away because it's actually not finished. So even as you're listening to it, it's still finishing the generation, even though it's telling you now you can, right? So I'd say it's about like a minute or less to generate the whole thing from.
Oh yeah.
But I mean,
what does the video option do?
Okay, great question. So, in my experience, unless they've updated, what it's going to do is essentially create sort of like a video reel of the lyrics, the art. There's sort of a like on one of the songs.
Oh, I see. Yeah, like
it's like, let's say download video. Yeah. It's
generate video.
It might not let him because he's on this version, but it basically creates a reel.
The free version.
It creates like it creates a reel where it's basically like looks like a music player. It has the album artwork, the song plays, and it has the lyrics. We'll get into that. We don't use Suno for video, and we'll get into the audio of that. It's playing on your iTunes. Yeah, the auto does that when it's playing downloads. For video, that's the thing. Each of these LLMs is tuned for a specific thing. I think to be competitive, they kind of all start offering kind of the same things that each of its competitors do. But we use so many different ones because each one has a different personality and different workflow. But as you saw, within a very, very, very short amount of time, we took your word, made a progression, it interpreted it, and that's just one click generation that spit out 2 songs. I could do that 10 more times and find the one of the 10 that I'm like, that's the one.
Yeah.
Because it got the phrasing right, we like what specific riff it came up with, whatever. And now you can even do in-song editing. So let's say, for example, we're like, it's perfect, but that bridge is terrible, it does something weird. You can actually go in and just change the bridge. And so it's just incredible.
Or say you've got multiple generations that you like parts of, you can extract those, drop them into recording software, and make your own unique remix. Yeah. What I've noticed is that our soundscape for music, as we're mixing it ourselves, is a lot more sophisticated, wide, and luscious than an AI-generated soundscape. But if you work them into your mix, they become augmenters or amplifiers of what's already there, which I'm looking forward to showing you another example of later. But you mentioned the generate video. I tried to download it. It didn't download. But it's actually a very important, the visualizer for the music is actually a very important part of our process. We like to say that working with us doesn't just stop at the recorded music, but what they've shown actually is on Spotify, if you're aware, they have a canvas, which is just a little visual that plays in the background while your song's playing. A good quality canvas has shown to increase the amount of streams that you get by up to 120%.
Wow.
And the amount of follows that you get by 114%, up to 114%, which is like incredible numbers for such a simple, small thing that you're not actively driving traffic towards. But the idea, though, being the higher the quality, the more
more success you can expect, now we have the ability to generate these reels or these canvases. If you wanted to try and throw one together while we continue the process.
Yeah, I think we need to keep demoing this stuff. Look, we just took that song that we just generated. I think a quick demo could be cool to whip up some visuals for that. I would say for your guys' application, and just to kind of throw out a bunch of ways in which I've used this, I mean, this allows you to basically make custom, unique music that will not be copyright struck in any situation. You know, I do editing for a YouTube channel, and you know, if you put any copyright music, it's gonna demonetize your video, and now that's not a problem. I can basically have background music for any video I edit, and I don't have to worry about, oh, the whole video is demonetized because you have played this part of copyrighted music. So, you know, you put all this time and energy into something, a project of any field, not even outside of music. Yeah. Now you don't have to worry about those hiccups.
So everybody can have a theme music.
Yes. You can have a theme music for anything. In a marketing context, we were talking, and we had an idea for, idea for a Swiffer, and I came up with a little riff that then I had Suno generate as an audio kind of ad for Swiffer, which then could be pitched to them. So it doesn't matter what field, you know, I know we're here talking about music, and we're against some video and other capabilities, but really we're here as a real case to show you that anything and everything you're working on, you need to start asking yourself, how can this just immediately take this to the next level? How can this speed up my process, augment my process? It's not replacing the process, it's just making you that much more effective and capable. Because we all have ideas, and we're just not experts at everything, but now that bar has raised incredibly. So, let's keep moving through the...
Yeah, absolutely. So we have the track. There's a couple tools we haven't really discussed Lalal yet, or Moises. Moises is, I'm not sure if you've heard of it, but it will separate a single track recording, like a WAV file, into its stems, so that you can remix the songs themselves. We've used it in some practical uses for getting stems for a recording to create a backing track for a live show, but also to even extract stems from a Suno generation to get just a specific instrument for a track. I think it's important to note that every time you do run the audio through an AI like this, and it's dissecting it in a way, that the quality of the audio is degraded every single time right now. And so this is the amount of progress that has been made in the last 6 months alone is parabolic. It's insane. But we're still adapting and adopting AI into our lives. So it's very early, I would say. But did you see that image of the neon road?
Yes, that it generated.
You want to try and throw something together in Midjourney for?
Yeah. Why don't you send me? Can you screenshot all the artwork that Suno generated? So I have Midjourney, a professional account for that. We're not going to get too tech complicated here, having two screens. So I'm gonna over here on my computer. I'm gonna generate the Suno generated an album artwork here.
I mean, it's gonna make me abstract. Can you just describe a neon path?
No worries. Okay, so I'm going to generate an image based on the song title and based on that image that it came up with. Midjourney is an excellent image generator, and you know, there's been releases like ChatGPT just opened up its own image generator, but Midjourney still has its own unique personality and is seen as honestly very artistic. As you can see in this presentation, all the images here are generated by Midjourney. They just have a very different quality than you'll get on any other image LLM. So I'm going to generate some album artwork in the meantime.
While you do that, I will, we could talk about this real quick. I feel like the next slide would be really good to do. But really quick, the value just of what you're seeing happening right now is songs that would have taken us weeks to produce. We give 2 days to the production, then another day for the mix, live with it for a week. Then you remix it. Then you open it up for notes. And everybody's like, okay, it could take a month.
a lot of like you have 15 producers by the end of a track 6 months later, and you're finally going to release it. We literally turned weeks and months into minutes right there. For the cost of the software, we no longer had to rent that time in a studio and pay a sound engineer. So I've written 90% cost reduction. I think it's closer to 100 than 90, but anybody could have done this. It didn't really take his piano playing to go, nothing really matters. If you have an idea, a spark of inspiration can be turned into a masterpiece. If you know how to work with a prompt and iterate and iterate and iterate. You're not limited by your playability. If I'm just a guitarist, I can have a piano track generated in minutes. So it's, and the experimentation is so refreshing, as like we're coming from this era of having to carefully craft every note and play it all live, and then MIDI makes that easier where you can record something and move the notes around. This is like, now I can just think it and sing it and have a whole house track for you in minutes. It's incredible. And we can just focus on more ideas, the next great idea. So this is what I was excited to get to, is a couple specific examples of how we've used Suno and Lalal in our work. If you can hear, this first example is a choir. I wanted a gospel choir for an original song of mine called Here and Now. And I recorded the parts myself, but it didn't it was all my voice. It didn't sound diverse. It was kind of, so this is what that sounded like. And then you run that through Suno, and it sounds like this. And I take those and I layer them on each other, so I'm in the choir, but it sounds like a real true gospel choir. And the cool thing, that's just a snippet of the song right there, but it actually, I put the whole track in there, and I asked for a cappella gospel vocals. It did like call and response with my lead vocal in the verse. It added runs. It did some incredible things, and then it's on the artist or the producer to chop it up, put them in place, and make it fit. But it's
Well, it just gave you more options. I mean, essentially, it's still on Jared to make the ultimate creative decision, but it just gives the creator more options.
It didn't replace the creativity, but it has real musicality behind it, and these algorithms are trained by people like us, and so at the end of the day, they are programmable and they're programmed, but so are we. So this one's really cool, actually. Shadow Dancer is a track that we started working on, or that we produced with a Warner Publishing writer, and this was for a popular artist, but I'm actually singing the chorus here. I'm your shadow dancer, So there's absolutely no AI in that recording right now. But what was our introduction to Lalal, and what's been actually a very powerful tool in writing music to pitch to other artists, has been being able to use any vocal profile for our own songs. And we tried a bunch of different vocalists. This was the one that worked the best with my voice, I think. But let's see if you can guess who it is. I'm your shadow dancer, little bit of heaven and a touch of sin. Loving sex and rock and roll, we're born again. Caught in between the final dance, our last romance. sounds exactly like her to me. But that is. Do you want to guess, Dr. Rushman? Do you want to guess?
It's okay.
Who you think it is? It's Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
That
was obvious.
It was? Oh,
yeah.
Okay, that's
so for me, it
yeah.
was.
Okay, good. But you're a music fan, you know.
Yeah, but it sounded like. So we're going to have to wrap up soon. But I'd love for you to demonstrate. And what is maybe you could do the art